Have you ever had one of those mornings where you walk into a room and completely forget why you went there? Or maybe you're searching for your glasses, only to realize they've been sitting on your head the entire time. Don't worry, you're not alone. As we age, little lapses in memory can start to feel like daily visitors. But here's the good news. Forgetting a name or misplacing your keys doesn't mean Alzheimer is knocking at the door. And even better, there are things you can start doing right now this very morning to protect your brain. Every morning gives us a fresh chance. Before the world gets noisy, before the distractions pile up, you have a small window to take care of yourself. And one of the best things you can do for your brain health only takes 6 minutes. Just 6 minutes. That's less time than it takes to make your morning coffee. And it could be one of the most powerful habits you ever create for your memory, your focus, and your long-term mental strength. Now, why 6 minutes? Because science tells us that consistency is more powerful than intensity. When it comes to brain health, you don't need an hour-long meditation or some complicated brain app. What you need is a few moments of focused, intentional practice done every single day. Think of it like brushing your teeth, but for your brain. So, let's talk about what this brain-boosting morning routine looks like. It starts with something surprisingly simple. Breathing. Yes, breathing. But not just any kind of breathing. Deep, slow, intentional breathing. When you first wake up, sit at the edge of your bed or in a comfortable chair. Close your eyes, place one hand on your stomach, and take a slow breath in through your nose. Feel your belly rise. Then exhale gently through your mouth and feel it fall. Do this 5 times. Now you might be thinking, how can breathing possibly help my brain? Here's how. Deep breathing lowers cortisol, your stress hormone. And cortisol, when left unchecked, can damage the very part of your brain that handles memory, the hippocampus. So those 5 breaths aren't just relaxing, they're protecting your mind. It's like sending your brain a signal. Today, we're calm, clear, and in control. Once your breath is steady, we move into the second part of the routine, mental warm-up. This is where we wake the brain up gently. A simple way to do this is with gratitude. You don't need a fancy journal. Just think of 3 things you're thankful for. Maybe it's your morning tea, a phone call you had yesterday, or even the way the sunlight hits your window. Gratitude shifts your brain into a positive state, and studies have shown it actually improves cognitive function and emotional balance. When you start your day scanning for good, your brain becomes better at finding it throughout the day. From there, we shift to movement just a little bit. You don't have to break a sweat or do jumping jacks. But gently stretching your neck, shoulders, and legs gets your blood flowing and increases oxygen to your brain. You can do this while sitting or standing. Roll your shoulders back, stretch your arms overhead, rotate your ankles and wrists. Even just 1 minute of movement can dramatically improve alertness. Your brain loves oxygen. And a little morning motion tells your body, I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm ready. Now, let's activate your mind in a playful way. For just a minute, give yourself a small mental challenge. It could be recalling a favorite childhood song and singing a verse in your head, or trying to name all the cities you visited in your lifetime. You could even memorize a short quote or scripture that inspires you. This is not about testing your memory. It's about stimulating it, creating new connections, keeping it flexible. Your brain wants to work, to grow, to move. When you feed it something fresh every day, it responds with sharper recall and better focus. And finally, end the 6 minutes with intention. Before you jump into your day, ask yourself one simple question. What do I want to feel today? Calm, energized, grateful, proud. When you name an emotion, you help your brain focus on that feeling instead of drifting through the day on autopilot. That moment of intention acts like a compass, gives your mind something to aim for, and that changes how you show up in every conversation, every task, and every challenge. This 6-minute morning ritual isn't magic. It won't solve every problem or erase every worry. But what it will do is train your brain to stay active, alert, and focused. And over time, that kind of practice adds up. It's not just about avoiding Alzheimer's, it's about preserving your dignity, your independence, and your ability to fully experience life with clarity and presence. Because here's the truth, your brain is still capable of growth. It's not too late. You're not too old. Every morning is a chance to protect what matters most. And it starts with a few small steps, repeated daily, with care. Because the little things you do consistently are what build the strongest defenses. Now that we've created a foundation with breath, gratitude, movement, mental stimulation, and intention, let's go even deeper into how these small habits impact your long-term brain health, especially when done right after waking up. Most people think that Alzheimer's and memory loss just happen as you age. But research shows that lifestyle plays a huge role, especially what you do in the early hours of your day. Think about it. When you wake up, your brain has just gone through hours of rest and repair. It's like a sponge ready to absorb, ready to reset. That is why what you do first thing in the morning sets the tone for your entire day. And more importantly, your long-term mental strength. One of the most overlooked habits that works wonders for the brain is hydration. After a full night of sleep, your body and your brain's dehydrated. Even mild dehydration can lead to brain fog, slower thinking, and poor memory. That's why, the moment you finish your 6-minute routine, it's time to drink a full glass of water. Not coffee, not juice. Just pure water. Think of water as fuel for your brain cells. It helps with circulation, it flushes out toxins, and it supports the delicate balance your brain needs to function clearly. If you want to go one step further, add a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of sea salt to help replenish essential minerals. This simple habit can make you feel more awake, more focused, and more mentally sharp before you've even left the kitchen. Another brain-loving habit to add is light exposure. If you can, step outside or stand near a window for a few minutes. Sunlight doesn't just help your mood, regulates your internal clock, improves your sleep at night, and signals your brain that it's time to be alert. In fact, just 5 to 10 minutes of natural light in the morning can increase serotonin levels, which helps with memory, attention, and emotional balance. And while you're soaking in that light, consider combining it with gentle movement. A short walk, even if it's just around your home or in your garden, combines multiple brain-boosting benefits. Physical activity, oxygen flow, visual stimulation, and grounding in the present moment. These are all factors that support the parts of your brain most vulnerable to Alzheimer's. Now, let's talk about something you might not expect: silence. In a world full of noise, TVs, notifications, endless chatter, our brains rarely get a break. But moments of silence, especially in the morning, can be incredibly healing. They give your thoughts space. They allow creativity to surface. They calm the nervous system. You don't have to sit in perfect meditation. Just sit, breathe, listen. Notice the world waking up around you. That kind of quiet is powerful, and it's something most of us overlook. There's also a beautiful practice I like to call mental anchoring. It's very simple. Each morning, take one memory, something meaningful, and replay it in your mind. It could be a childhood moment, a birthday celebration, or even just a quiet walk you once enjoyed. Try to remember the sights, the sounds, the smells. This activates parts of your brain responsible for memory retrieval and emotional association, keeping them strong and connected. This practice can also be incredibly comforting, especially if you've lost loved ones or feel lonely. Recalling good memories keep you stuck in the past to help strengthen your identity and remind you that your life is rich with experiences worth remembering. And from a neurological perspective, it's like taking your brain to the gym, flexing those recall muscles. Another practice that fits beautifully into your morning is repeating affirmations. These are simple, positive phrases you say to yourself out loud or silently. Things like, "I am strong," "I am focused," "My mind is clear today," or "I choose to stay present." You don't have to believe every word at first. but saying them consistently rewires your brain. Over time, those thoughts become easier to access. And positive self-talk has been shown to reduce stress, increase resilience, and improve memory and learning in older adults. The final piece to this extended morning routine is nourishment. What you eat first matters. Avoiding sugar-heavy cereals or pastries and choosing brain-friendly foods like eggs, oats, nuts, or berries gives your brain the nutrients it needs to thrive. One of the best things you can do: a spoonful of healthy fat like avocado, olive oil, or walnuts. Your brain is made of nearly 60% fat, and feeding it the right kinds helps protect the structure of your neurons, improves communication between brain cells, and supports memory. So here's where we are: a calm beginning, mindful breathing, gratitude, stretching, stimulation, hydration, sunlight, silence. Nourishment all in the space of your first 30 to 60 minutes after waking up. And while that may sound like a lot, many of these steps can overlap. You can stretch while breathing. You can recall memories while sipping water. You can speak affirmations while walking in the light. It's not about adding pressure to your morning. It's about replacing autopilot with intention, about showing up for yourself before the world demands your attention. And the reward: a clearer mind, a stronger memory, and a daily sense of purpose that naturally protects your brain from decline. And the most beautiful part about it is this: you don't have to be perfect. You don't need to do every single step flawlessly. What matters most is showing up, giving yourself those few quiet, intentional moments each morning. Because each time you do, you're sending a message not just to your brain, but to your whole being that your health and your future are worth protecting. Let's be honest, aging isn't always easy. Some days you might wake up feeling stiff, tired, or unmotivated. But it's in those moments, especially, that your morning brain routine becomes even more important. It becomes a gentle act of self-respect. A way of saying, even today, I choose to care for myself. Meant that choice builds resilience, both mentally and emotionally. This routine is not just about warding off Alzheimer's. It's about staying engaged. It's about remembering the faces and names of the people you love. It's about walking into a room and feeling confident, focused, and present. It's about holding on to your independence, your humor, your spark. Because you still have so much to offer, so much life to live. And the ability to stay sharp helps you live it fully. Small habits really do shape big outcomes. 6 minutes of breath and movement. A few moments of light, of water, of gratitude. That's all it takes to create a ripple effect throughout your entire day. You may notice that your mind feels a little clearer, your mood a little lighter, your words coming a little faster in conversation. These aren't just coincidences. They're signs that your brain is responding, growing, adapting. And that's what science confirms again and again. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change dose and vanish with age. In fact, it continues late into life, especially when we feed it with novelty, consistency, and care. So don't let anyone convince you that forgetfulness is something you have to accept without a fight. Yes, aging changes us. But that doesn't mean we give up. It means we get smarter about how we care for ourselves. And maybe today is the day you begin. Or maybe you've already started and you're just looking for a little more motivation to keep going. Either way, I want you to know that you're not alone. There's a whole community of people just like you, choosing to invest a few precious minutes each morning into protecting what matters most, their mind. If this video has helped you feel more hopeful, more inspired, or more informed, then I'd love for you to let us know. Hit that like button, it really does help the channel, and consider subscribing if you want more tips like these. And tell us in the comments, what part of this morning brain routine are you most excited to try? Or what's something you already do that helps your brain feel alive and strong? We grow when we learn from each other. And your story might inspire someone else to take that first small step. That's how change spreads, not through grand declarations, but through quiet, consistent action. So here's your gentle reminder as we close. Your mind is powerful. Your life still holds purpose. And with just a few minutes of care each morning, you can help keep your memory clear, your focus sharp, and your spirit vibrant. Not just today, but for many, many mornings to come. Here's to starting the day with intention. Here's to showing up for your brain. And here's to living every chapter of life with clarity, confidence, and heart. You've got this.